Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Monster Train. We've been on I would consider it a pretty good roll lately. Especially considering we're not even choosing our factions, we're just making it up as we go. I feel like let's go, I'm going off the rails. I'm going on the rails on this crazy train. Now we do have the exact same faction lineup this time. That seems to happen a lot. I'm not suggesting that there is a bias in the random number generator. Sorry, I can't seem to find a good spot for my chair here. What's your problem? I think it's more that there's only 5 factions. I know the odds are not great of getting the exact same setup, but I think it's going to happen fairly frequently. Ascend is beautiful. Entombed Explosive, I've never made it work apparently. We have no way to bring units back, which is a dangerous thing right now, but this will be really good in the early game. And Inflame, I think, is good as well. Let's see where our relics are. Plus 3 stacks of burnout every time it's applied. I think I'm going to go there. I think we can play around with that more than the mallet. Now, you're never... Oh, this is a weird one. We have no way to keep our champion alive on their own self-sustenance. I have to look at Inflame. So Rage 4 is going to give you 16 extra damage, which is really good. I think we start here with the multi-strike. And we also have armor on the card, which is nice, but it's only 5, so it's not that nice. And then we hope with our next boss upgrade to get on Slay, get armor. I think that would be the dream. And I turned on spikes. I turned them on. I'm unafraid right now because I think that you win no matter what on the first fight. I hope I don't regret that. So one thing is for certain. If our Hornbreaker Prince attacks anything, he's dead. Oh no, because he does come out with 10 armor. But still, I think we'd like to keep him for the end, if possible. We don't really care to kill a healer. However, we kind of might as well. There's multiple ways to do it. I think this is still the way you would probably look at. Put a train steward at the front and a drag right there, and we don't have any use for that ascend yet. We could have ascended the healer and then put our units on different floors, but I don't think it truly matters all that much. It's a little weird, but I think I have a play here. You're not gonna be a huge fan of it. And it may not work. So let's not do it then. Hold on, we were getting into some ridiculous stuff there. This it'll slow you down at least. I'm trying to think about how we keep our champion alive here, and the only way that I can see it is if we can find a way to torch this thing. Our champion will live. You're taking 2 damage, man. But if I give you Rage 4. You actually take more damage and our champion lives. But I would really like to just... Okay, actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, I'm like... It's super weird. And we accepted our pyre was going to take a hit, but our pyre was going to take a hit no matter what. Our champion lives. Might as well. Man, I wish we had any way to kill that healer right now, but it is what it is. Like, I keep saying it is what it is, but it's true. It is what it is. Spikes was the worst possible setup for us, so the fact that things are going okay seems to be very positive. This is totally fine. I think we just like to hit you one more time. This floor doesn't exist for any purpose except to slow you down. And our top floor, I was gonna say, there's no way you're not dying. The train steward got the last hit, dude. What a world. Alright, so we sacked some pyre health to get some extra money. Well worth it, I would say. I do tend to think of Hornbreak as our best option, but I also do think of Molting Imp as being pretty good. I'm going to take the Molting Imp in the hopes of bringing back that imp later with Molded or something similar. The encasement, I think, is actually pretty nice as well. Yeah, we don't really need more burnout right now. But we do want to take cards early if they even move the needle for us at all. And maybe we'll get a chance to remove them later. But for sure we want a unit. Preferably a unit that actually does some damage. We only have one imp. We can't really make Consumer of Crowns work, so this is Alpha Fiend's party. Giving in multi-strike, it scales twice as quickly. And then I think we want +5, +10. It's close though, because +25 it lets you live longer, maybe to get more triggers on it, but I think that's probably our play. And then if I look at my deck, we really don't have any other units we care to buff, except with Endless, but we're not going to be able to afford it. So I think you go straight for a Purge, and call me crazy, I think a Torch is maybe a little less less useful than a Train Steward right now. And in terms of extra HP, admittedly, the encasement taking more shots is probably better. Without the ability to bring it back, this can be a useful kind of blocker, maybe for the Alpha Fiend before the Alpha Fiend tanks up. Non-boss enemy units get +4. You are sweep, so that doesn't really matter. And you grant spikes. I think we can do it, and I think the value of a unit draft early is disproportionately high because you get the unit early, you get way more shops to buy the stuff you're looking for that would make the unit even better. So I like it. I like it a lot. Now we're dealing with spikes again, which is not so nice. So we know you're taking a nasty hit. However, I think we prefer this. Don't get me wrong. It's a little strange. But we got time now. We got time to deal with this one. We gotta play the imp up there to deal with you if we want the... Well, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Maybe we could do this instead. You're dying. Everybody else is doing fine. You would then get moved up, and you should get blasted up here. And I still think we play the Train Steward as a tank. And in terms of survivability, now I think we give you the Inflame, and we're just hoping for the best. Alright, so we got some nasty units. Oh, I would love to be able to play one of these, but I'm a fool. But still, oh, we can only play one of them up here? Come on, man. This is a bummer. I set this up a little weirdly. I think Stealth is probably better here, and then this is probably better up there. And we will play two of these dregs, and just, I think they're gonna make it. It's gonna be a bit weird. Quite frankly. You're gonna do 35 damage on death. I'm trying to figure out how I wanna set this up, because you know, we probably just torch you. That's probably better than fiddling around with this ascend sort of setup we got here. You're still only taking 17 damage. Oh, because you have sweep, dude. If only I could. I mean, you still have sweep no matter what. But we gotta ascend something out of here. And then I'm like, at least this way we get another 35 damage done to you. Man, sweep and spikes is a killer for us. It's causing all sorts of problems. Now this, hold on. Now you're living through your first hit, which allows us to do way more damage. As far as ascending, we're not going to ascend you. We're going to let you hit our pyre once. This went better than expected at the end. I'm happy to have the unit draft. And these have not been easy trials. So I think Ritual of Battle is really good for us, and we'll deal with the cost later. Again, Engulfed in Smoke tends to be fantastic, I think. And now we can start to think about building something. But I really do think that Steelworker is the best card here. Lady of the Reformed, we've tried a lot and never made it happen. We need high damage, low burnout units, I think, to make it work. I don't really see the value of a duplicated Alpha Fiend just yet. It's not that strong. Having one of them should be pretty good. We'd really... I don't think we need it. Full stop. The multi-strike is quite nice, don't get me wrong, but then what would you duplicate? I don't really have a great answer. Feel like Inflame is kind of a key card for us right now, but maybe do we really need another unit? Maybe we'd rather come this way, get a little bit more rope for the pyre, and we get multi-strike again. It's weird. It's hard to say no to it. I think you can live with making your Steelworker pretty strong here. And honestly, you just give him as much damage as possible with the multi-strike. You probably just toss him up on the top floor, let him sit there for the whole game, and hope for the best, I guess. And again, this guy taking hits. I know it didn't work out that well there. I still think this guy becoming the tank of the century is the way that it's the way forward for us. The merchant. Give me a random Hellhorn consumable card. Unplayable. In reserve, your pyre gets 5 health. I will take it, because we're a little touchy on it. I don't necessarily think it's great, because of the dead draw. Most of the cards we play probably protect our pyre from more than 5 health, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not super opposed to it, and we'll give it a try here to see how she goes. So you're gonna do too much damage. They explode twice? No, they deal 1 damage on death. Nobody cares. So ideally, we want the Steelworker up at the top. I know it seems weird because he's going to take a huge hit right off the bat, but I don't think it matters that much. And our Hornbreaker Prince would get 2 kills if he lived. He can live with 1, but it's like... I don't think it's a great play. I think instead you do it like this. And we do need I want the tank at least. And we really just, we're going to end up putting the Alpha Fiend at the bottom, which I think is also totally fine. So we'll go Alpha Fiend at the bottom. He's not dying, which is the most important thing. That's all I was looking for. I think we'd rather deal 35 damage to you. We get way more progress there. We take a little bit less on this one, but I think it's worth it. We do. It's hard to get used to when you're doing a melting run that doesn't have, maybe some of the stuff you're used to. But we are in desperate need of... That's my bad. We should have played the imp there. I got my capacity mixed up. We are in desperate need of a way to bring units back. So I actually think we did this super wrongly, but we're gonna come out of it not feeling too bad. And I gotta apologize to Alpha Fiend, to be honest. Our Alpha Fiend is actually doing a pretty darn good job right now. You guys are doing great. You know, let's put this in front of you. We got 2 tanks on that floor, but I'm gonna choose to live with it. Make sure one of you goes down here. And the Entombed Explosive, sure, why not? Why not? No other place. Oh, there is another place for you. The run is not quite where I want it to be yet, but it is okay. Maybe even a little bit better than okay. So you're doing fine. We'll probably hit you with the next armor up. Or we could always ascend you and put you one floor up at this point. Which I think would actually work. You'd have some tanks behind you, or in front of you. No, but then we couldn't put a tank... Yeah, because once this guy is gone, we can't really put anything else up here because we'd be over capacity. I think you're better off on your own floor, believe it or not. I think you are better off on your own floor. And we can just keep popping this down to keep you as steady as possible. We can play a drag. We can get away with it. There's no real reason to elevate anything, I think. Elevate? Sorry, I mean ascend. I meant ascend. So you're taking 135. That's not great. At this point now, I might look at this as an opportunity to ascend you. But I actually think... I think it's tough. I actually... don't shoot the messenger. I think this is a weird double ascend. So you get behind a real couple of tanks here. Instead of just some pretenders. And we'll just play a train steward here. We did have the option to play the rage. And we could have put it on our champion. It does the same amount of damage no matter who you put it on. But I think it was, and you may disbelieve me to the extreme, I think it was more beneficial to bring the guy up here. It's just going to look a lot scarier. And again, we pretty much abandoned that middle floor. Sorry, champion. Get a slay trigger, and then we'll talk. But this guy's toasted. There's no way. I didn't even have to think about it. I know he's not living. So why don't we just, well, we'll play it anyway for sport. Thank you. Alright, so we galaxy brained ourselves into victory there, but that was a real galaxy brain for once. And impolate is not what we want. It's very interesting. Consume cards in hand and add a draft unit to your hand with enhance plus 10 for each card consumed. So if we consume 2 cards, we would get a 30 draft unit. With multi-strike. The problem is, it would then burn out and die, like, instantaneously. Like, I wish I liked this, but I really just think it's poor value. But to not take something out of a rare pack is, like... It's painful. It's really painful. But, like, for 1, 2 rage and 2 armor. Who cares? We don't care at all. For 2, we're getting 5 rage, or 4 rage and 5 armor. I skip you. I skip you. My heart says skip. Burnout units getting rage, I think is okay, but I don't think it's that good. Now, does a Horned Warrior have any place for us? We really have a middle floor that's trash. Or really, we have 2 good floors, 1 bad floor. You could put the Horned Warrior behind the Steelworker, but the Horned Warrior is a strictly worse version of the Steelworker we already got. Now, we can level him up, or give him some superlatives, you know? I feel like we can't skip, so I'm going to take him. And then I'm actually really kind of struggling with where we're going to go with this one. I do feel like capacity's been a problem, but I think that energy is also... We got some expensive spells, and we have Alpha Fiend cost 2, and we have to play it. It's a tight one. This is a tight one, and I think for sure we come here. Get a random imp in your hand every turn. When you play a spell, spells in hand that cost less are reduced to 0 for the turn. So there's a lot of good stuff here. But we don't play that many spells. A random imp with less capacity than I'd like. I think I still do like the Impsicle. I think that's two pretty good choices, but I think we do like the Impsicle. And, like, these train stewards, and to be honest, the torches, but the train stewards exist just to irritate me. I think we're going to try to get you to scale. I think that's important. And this is what we were looking for. So now that you have a Slay trigger, you do lose out on the extra multi-strike. And multi-strike is probably the most valuable keyword in the game, if I could give my ignorant assumption, which is why I'm not going to be turning it on here. But to get a Slay trigger on our champion makes our champion a lot more useful. Just a lot more useful. So you're going to have haste. Let me think about this one for a moment, okay? So I think we definitely like you, and you'll take 35 of 60. So this would get us a Slay trigger. And if that gets us a Slay trigger, then I think we really like putting you out here. Probably in front, because I don't... If you get a couple of triggers, that's all I care about. Although behind would have gotten this kill, which is somewhat meaningful. But I also am like, you know what? Could just ascend you, at which point you guys are way less scary. And then there's... I think you play the fledgling imp just to get it killed so it doesn't gum up your deck. But I'm pretty happy with the way this went down. So we got 3 gold. And it's not a lot, but it's a start. Alright. Our imp is not the imp we're looking for, but still pretty good. So we play the imp at the front. The imp will die, which means we're going to get some gold. We're not going to kill you. I accept it. We're not going to play our rage either. We're going to put our steelworker up here. You know what? We are going to get the gold. I didn't think about that one. Alright. So this top floor is a bit busted. You just got to give me a second, okay? Just give me a freaking second. The Alpha Fiend also has to be played. He can really only be played at the top, which is interesting. So I think we are gonna do it. Even though he's dazed. I remembered the daze. Don't get it twisted up. I think we like... Because you're still dying. Now you're not dying. Our Pyre is going to take a little bit, but not enough to be super concerned, I think. And then I think you play the Molting Imp. And again, we're getting enough gold out of it that I'm starting to think this was actually the right play. You did very little damage to the Pyre. I remain unconcerned. And again, I think you straight up just go back to the Molting Imp. You're like nothing. But I don't really want to ascend you. You know, like, we could ascend our champion. I actually don't mind this. Because first off, he gets a kill, which is a Slay trigger is nice. Secondly, it makes more room for drafts, which are actually dregs. So that we can get more harvest triggers on our wealthy steward. And also, all we need is one more ascend, and then we can move our champion up to the tippy top of the mountain, and he's going to have some great tank in front of him, which is pretty nice. So I'll tell you right out the gates, we love that. You're taking 48, which is enough to get you killed on the next floor. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Should have put him in front so we'd get more harvest triggers, but maybe we shouldn't be worried about the harvest triggers all that much. And let's give you the stealth. Okay. So we got something a little bit more interesting going on. I think we got a pretty good thing going. You're only taking 75, which admittedly is trash, but are we just abandoning this floor? We'd prefer if you didn't skip this floor, because we really want to draw and ascend if possible. So that will preclude or require the use of a torch right there. We don't really have any units we want to play. So I think you can get away. It's a bit spicy, but I think you can get away with Rage 6 on your champion instead of Inflame plus something else. And we're looking for an Ascend, which we actually got. Now you're taking none, which sucks. However, Welder Helper will take a couple hits. Horned Warrior exists just to hit you a couple of times, and then, sure, take 2 damage. Can we do 440 damage to you on the next floor? Yes. I would say now we need capacity. A thinner deck and more draw would also be pretty close to the top of the list. We really just don't have... I know we could get Pyre Chomper, which gives us +4, and we could play this and still have some energy left over and get an extra multi-strike. Like, I think it's really good. I just don't think we're gonna be able to play it. So I hate to do it, but I gotta skip it. It's so expensive. Like, I want to say, the card is not that good. The effect is good, but it's crazy expensive. I think the card is just okay, unless you have, like, unlimited energy, or you have, like, the relic that lets you store energy turn to turn. I also think none of that is useful. Which maybe is wrong, but we'll see. So here, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of looking at this free relic choice again. We do want to remove some cards, but that we can do that. Yeah, I think getting a spell upgrade, free money, and then also this is pretty good. Okay, so this is what we should have had earlier in order to make that rail spike amazing. Sadly, this is not that good right now. Summon abilities trigger twice only applies to the imp and all of our imps, to be fair. So I think we do go for X cards. They're as good as their cost +3, but admittedly, it's a bit weird because we don't have any X cost cards yet. But one day we're gonna get there, and you're all gonna be sorry. So holdover is always interesting. Sure, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff here. I think that a holdover engulfed in smoke probably still provides you with the most value. Two turns of stealth per turn. And then we will get 1 purge here. And again, I think our torches are not that good, but we can at least give them +20 and consume. Our train stewards, we don't really have a choice in the matter. We kind of got to yeet them. I hate you. You have 8 turns of stealth. I think we definitely do not turn on the trial here, because I'm scared, okay? One thing I would like to note. We screwed up a little bit on the last run. I don't think we had much choice in the matter, but we really do not want to have our train steward... our Alpha Fiend on the top floor. He was not getting enough triggers, and he was actually being pretty bad. So you guys do 24 damage. Don't love that. We'll live. I think you do okay back here. But the imp... I think you can summon it just to die. So it doesn't fill our deck. Remember, those are coming from our Impsicle relics, so we don't want them to keep filling up our deck unnecessarily. So for sure, let's just look at how this is going just fine. We're actually getting 2 kills, which is a really good boost for us. Let's get the Alpha Fiend out here. And we would like to put up a blocker for him. Obviously, you're getting stronger, which sucks, but I'm gonna make you even stronger. So I hope that you don't get too upset here. This will let you live as well, but I'm okay with it. Because we're saving. Yeah, I see, because you're living now. Of course, it makes sense. And And I don't think we even... Well, Dreg has 5 burnout. I think we do play it, actually. It does mean our champion's taking a big shot next turn. Or at least it's taking the full force of the shot, but what can you do? So, Wickless Tycoon. There's no place for you. You're really the odd man out by virtue of when you were summoned. Stealth works really well versus stealth. It also... No, we don't need it up there. I think you just play stealth on stealth here. Because of holdover, it's coming back next turn anyway. And then, the problem is we want to make sure we're trying to kill you as quickly as possible. 22, Rage 6 will let us hit you a lot harder. Is there... Dude, I don't think you play Wickless Tycoon up at the top. I think it's kind of trash. I think... If you get it out early, I think it can be good. If you don't get it out early, I think it's trash. I think we'll summon you just to die yet again. So you don't clog up our deck with imps we don't care about. You guys are still stealthing it up, which is nice. You guys are... How are you not getting... Oh, you're getting hit for 24, and then you're getting 2 Slay triggers, which is not quite good enough to break even. I like this setup. I don't mind this setup at all. I think we will, again, summon you to die. Which... No, you're already getting hit. That makes sense. You know what, then? In this case... We'll make you guys stealthy, and then we get a huge turn of events on this floor. And why don't... I'm still gonna make our champion stronger. It just seems to give me so much more benefit. And we'll save this. Let's not play anything. It gives us so much more benefit on our champion, because every time our champion hits a Slay trigger, they get a little bit stronger, a little bit tankier. So making our champion as strong as possible seems to be the play. You're not dying here, which sucks. But I don't think it takes much to change that. Yeah, beautiful. So let's have you guys get stronger. We could admittedly bring our Alpha Fiend up to the back here. I actually do think that's the play. Then our stealth hits 1 more unit, and we can use it there more often. And just go very heavy with the world's worst bottom floor. And our top floor is literally like just the steelworker. What have we consumed? Just our torch, I think? Anyway, I mean, you guys getting stealth would help you do more. On the other hand, you guys getting stealth is, I don't know, 100 times better. So let's start there. And if we get, I was just going to say, if we could hit 1 of you for 2, that's going to move the needle for us a little bit more as well. I think we're in a very good spot, although admittedly, we did only burn a couple of turns of stealth. I forgot that, but that changes everything right there. So we're totally fine. I'm not insanely optimistic about this run, but I feel okay. I definitely think the rage-based cards are worth the most for us. Rage 7 is pretty great. I mean, another... I can't imagine we need another Engulfed in Smoke at this point with a holdover 0 cost Engulfed in Smoke. And we gotta have our boss fight right away. Yeah. I would think to myself that removal is the play here. And the unit shop is a nice little bonus, especially if we can get multi-strike. So the deck's getting thinner. It is multi-strike, so I think now, like, the Horned Warrior has a reason to live. And we'll also make him a little tankier. Just that's basically to hard counter sweeps, quite frankly. Now, our Wickless Tycoon, I still don't really know where we're gonna put that guy. But I know we will spend, well... No, we don't have any units that really need it. I think we're gonna spend on the Purge to get another torch out of here. It's an interesting run. It's a very different run from the way we ran Hellhorned and Melting last time. It's a lot less strong, but it might have a little bit more resilience. I think we need a little bit of some extra sauce to get to the boss, though, for sure. Or to beat the boss. So I know that we like you at the bottom so you can attack as much as possible. That's gonna get a lot of triggers. You're gonna be loving life. You're also gonna be taking a hit, but we want you to get stronger faster. This should give you a Slay trigger next turn. Yeah. I don't mind taking the Pyre damage now and then. Well, our Pyre is at full, for one, but we also have a card that makes our Pyre even better. You know, every time we draw it, our Pyre is going to get 5 back. So you're not dying here, which sucks. But, just work with me. I know we want a Steelworker. I think you probably want the Horned Warrior right behind it. I gotta think this one through. No matter what, nobody else is going down. You know, okay, first off, you gotta come out here. Then we, okay, alright, now I understand. Now I understand. I still think we try to make your Slay trigger a little easier. Because you're already getting buff every turn. And then you, like... Sure, okay, actually it makes sense, but... you are costing us something by being there. Let's put it that way. You're costing us the ability to have a tank up there as well. What a draw. This is not stellar, but you're actually pogging out of your mind here, so no big deal. And you're all dying, so I think this is great news. So I think we do just like having a tank up here. And then, let's get rid of that. I just don't like seeing it. And you have 7 damage. Honestly, I think I ascend you. And then we'll get one more kill. And also, 3 Pyre damage doesn't matter. The bigger problem is that it took up 3 spaces in our hands. But we really were managing this run just fine. We have no real upstream problems. And everything's looking hunky-dory. Okay, I'm just thinking. Which is not necessarily sensible, because there's nothing really to do here. Then we like you up at the front. Then we probably like you right behind. And then, all of a sudden, we're getting a kill there. And a drag, really... I would rather keep a space open in front of our champion for a tank. So we'll put you up here. I really doubt you're going to live long enough to do anything. But we seem to be holding them down pretty strong here. Softening them up on the first floor, and then the second floor, we're really, you know, hammering them down there. So you're not dying. Very surprising to me. I don't even think we used this yet. I think it's too early. That does get a kill. And it does bring a smile to my face. We're probably getting close to the time where you would move the Alpha Fiend up. But I think we can stall it just a little bit longer. To be straight up with you, I think this time... I think I like moving you up, so you take no damage. It actually worked out super nicely. Yeah, no, I love the way that went. I love the way that went. And I'm starting to rethink, like, my whole deck setup. I'm like, I actually think, like, the next thing we gotta do is remove all the drafts. Which are actually dregs, as mentioned on numerous occasions. So you gotta go. Definitely, I think we stealth you. I'm just trying to think about... you need it more. You know... okay, I think we stealth you... and then give you the armor while you're stealth, so that you still die. And I'd actually like to never draw a dreg again. So let's set it up like this, so both of our units die. And then also, if you could die, that would be fantastic. And I think we've puzzled it out. We got a great thing going on here. Well, you're definitely going to play Pyre Chomper. And again, you want to play Pyre Chomper so that it gets killed. As far as stealth, doesn't matter too much right now. Let's keep it going on our Alpha Fiend for the time being. And, shouldn't have stealthed you. That's completely my mistake. Why don't you go ahead and kill my, imp. And then we'll make you a little stronger. Something's happening on this one. We're starting to put it together. It's the final wave. Really, we would look for an ascent here. We didn't get one. So I'll put this away. Who are we going to stealth? I think we'll try to make this floor work a little bit. You don't have sweep. That's right. It's 35. Take it down to 30. You will die in one hit faster, but it's not, you know. $556. 556. 970. That's pretty good. I think our wealthy steward also made us like 60 gold, which is pretty great. Forgive me, I can't not play this. Just to see how it happens. Yeah, I gave it to, get over it. Alright, so that went completely fine. Maybe we're way better off than I thought, but I think the birds with their sweeps and their heavy attacks are really going to put this to the test. I think we really actually like a Remnant Pact. And I also think capacity makes the most sense to us here. But the Remnant Pact, to be able to bring back the unit that blocks heavy and then does 35 damage, that's the yams. I'm feeling like we're in control here. Spell upgrades are more useful for us, but we don't have access to them. So I actually think that removal does way more for us than anything else. And we want our torches to go, but I actually think our dregs are worth even less. I actually think our dregs might be worth less than train stewards right now, which makes no sense because I think their stats are almost strictly better. But if almost strictly better, that means worse. Maybe strictly worse. Alright, so we start with, we can get one extra multi-strike, or we can make you get stronger on hit and kill. I would probably think that, well, I don't know, this worked out pretty well for us last time. I think you can pog up with that. And let's see what we get here. Maybe we'll get a card we'd rather duplicate. So we can make a unit plus 30, but extremely, it's plus 2 capacity. So we'd really only be able to have one other thing on the floor. But like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, I think I like this. I mean, making something 1 is also great, but I think making you a 60 by 2, and we can still have a steelworker in front of you is pretty good. 45 by 260. Yeah, I think you go for the Horned Warrior here. And all of a sudden, everybody who's ever laughed at the Horned Warrior for having 4 HP is looking mighty nervous. They are looking mighty nervous right now. We're not gonna dupe him, that's just insanity. I don't really think you need double endless, but the fact that it consumes makes that a little interesting to me. It only costs 1. I really think, why is it that when I play slower, I finish runs faster? You ever think about that? These have been really fast runs. This one might be a little bit longer now that I look at it, but... Alright, 3 pieces of crap. Really want Alpha Fiend to live. Should happen. So the damage coming out here is 25 plus 15 is 40. It will work, but it's going to be annoying. I think we go Welder Helper. Then Alpha Fiend at the back. The only reason I question it is because there's a lot of Slay triggers in here, but... I think you even put a Dreg up at the front just to take one more hit. And then we Dark Deal our champion, who is going to be disgusting. And now, okay, well, we love a lot of this, right? So I would say you really could get away with having a Horned Warrior on this floor to help you get a kill. What's the downside? Well, it's not the setup we planned. It doesn't really change the fact of this, but just work with me for a second here. So we do want you to die. We also want you to take a hit, or several. And it wouldn't hurt too bad if you took another one. Okay, so this is a beautiful situation for us. We would have liked to have made you endless, but whatever. Then if we ascend you, we will get the gold regardless. The only thing is, the downside actually is that we don't want this guy to steal Slay triggers, but because he's at the back, he can't. So who cares? We still might want to raise him up though. We'll see. Hang on, I'm thinking, okay? You're doing fine. You're taking a hit, but you're doing fine. I'm just trying to figure out where we put the stealth. And it's funky. But I think we put it right here. You're still taking 10 just off the damage triggers, which is super annoying. I think we'll make you endless. And then put you down here. Maybe. Get our endless back, which we can't even cast. I'm stupid. Well, that imp is taking up valuable real estate, and he's not even paying rent. All right, so we gotta find a way to keep our Alpha Fiend alive. And honestly, the best way to do it at this point is probably to move him up a floor and just have him chill, dude. Now, you're gonna die when I do this, but now you won't. So isn't that something? Look at that. The money is just out of control, and you're living. On top of everything else, you're also just living. Wow, what a world, dude. And then, protect you. Sorry, our champion was about to die. Not on my watch, brother. So I'm here to tell you, the only floor that matters is this one. We do have 6 strikes, which is pretty nice. And I think we're going to put the rage on our tankiest unit. Dude, having this unit be endless is pretty sweet. I'm enjoying the way this is going. So you guys are all dead, which couldn't be better. We're gonna make you a little stronger just because you're very much not right now. And we'll put you up here, and then you up here. We're really just trying to get as many Slay triggers, or Harvest triggers as we can on our wealthy, whatever his name is that nobody cares about. So you guys dying is fine. We don't want to put any resources into this floor. Forgive me for saying so. We could, if we wanted to, move the Tycoon up. I sort of don't see the value. Him living is not really a prerequisite for any of this making any sense. 49 damage? I mean, dude, this is pretty good. That middle floor, in theory, it doesn't have unlimited stealth. But it has, we're stacking stealth until this turn, and then we get to stack it one more time. And he's already dead, so I don't know what I'm really worried about here. We might as well just send it. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I always get freaked out on the final boss fight, though. It doesn't take much for it to all go wrong. Still not necessary. We have a very good thing going here. Spell upgrades is still what we want, or maybe buying relics. If we want spell upgrades, we go this way. It does take away some of our removal, but we have so much money that we should be... Okay, we don't care about the pyre, of course. Let's look at the relics first. I do think when you summon the second unit in a turn, gain 3 energy could be worth it. This I don't think is. This is kind of close. It makes our... whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about, the Rail Lord, who's never factored into this at all. It makes him pretty amazing. But is it amazing enough? I'm trying to think if we want, like, do we even need holdover or anything? I truly don't think so. I would rather buy a relic than remove 1 card. So let's, the problem is we just don't apply much armor, but admittedly our steelworker gets an absurd amount out of this, so I think it's probably not worth it in the abstract, but worth it when you consider that it's like our last option here. And again, for duplicate, I don't really know what we want to duplicate, but... I would say maybe duplicating this in flame synergizes with our relic a little bit better. The hard part is going to be keeping these things alive. Or the first spell you play each turn gets consumed as well. Spells are not insanely important for us, except, and this is a big except, except for the fact that our stealth is critical. Put this down. Put this down. I know I'm going to kill one of you. I just got to think of which one. We're going to kill the one that does more damage, because we can definitely play the self-mutilation. And then... we'd rather you do the 35 damage. And we do want the welder helper to die. I don't know where you put it to make that happen. There's really no good spot. You know, we need to keep space open down here. I guess you just let the welder helper cycle around. I don't love it. I do think there's something to it, though. Okay, of these, what would we be most content losing? Probably Dark Deal. Wealthy Steward kind of has very limited purpose now. But we do want to summon 2 units, so he actually will give us our energy back. So maybe we like the fact that he can absorb a couple of hits up here. The gold, of course, is not worth literally anything at all. So we're getting 1 kill. Not too much we can do to change that. I think we could kill these guys with Dark Deal, but I think I'd rather let them slip by, and instead make sure that our champion scales as quickly as possible so that he can get as many Slay triggers as possible. And even just doing that got him another Slay trigger. So we still need Steelworker, and we still need our Horned Warrior, and we got them both. As of right now, the Steelworker is not living up here. Where does the Imp go? Or the Warrior? 2 very different units there. I really don't see a reason for now to not put him on the 2nd floor. We really want to stack all our units on the same floor with Ascends, so that our health goes, or our stealth, I should say, goes as long away as possible. Now we have to choose. Are we going to get rid of an Inflame here, or are we not going to play it so that it benefits us in the future? That's a tough decision. Just trying to make you live, brother. He's living. We gotta put the armor on him to try to keep him alive. I mean, if you're not going to play Inflame now, when are you going to play it, you know? We really want to ascend him, though, so he gets up to the top and is no longer that threatens. And we're going to be able to do so, which is beautiful. So let's ascend this boy to the back. Now you need some protection of some sort, which is hard to do, to be fair. It is interesting to make you endless, but we really don't need any energy out of you. We really don't need stealth out of you. This is kind of a weird dead draw. You're definitely gonna get this torch out of here, and the killing an enemy to... Oh, did you lose a slay trigger? No, you didn't lose a slay trigger on that. Come on. Don't make me laugh. This bottom floor is really weird. I don't know what I'm doing with it. In fact, every floor but our middle floor is very weird. So what do we... What do we? I feel like we don't need to play an Ascent. Admittedly, we could start moving every unit to try to get behind the Steelworker. It's an interesting thought. I think it's going to take too long for it to matter. I actually don't think we need to play the Remnant Pact. Which means we should play the Remnant Pact so that it gets consumed, is really the philosophy I've got here. We'll put it on our champion just in case things go terribly wrong. Pyre taking 5 damage doesn't concern me as much as making a mistake that could cost us, like, everything. So, I think giving our champion even more damage is what we want here. Couldn't have done it in the opposite order, huh? I guess it probably goes left to right. So, Engulfed in Smoke is the spell you really can't afford to lose. We do have 2 in the deck. This is our consume pile. Do we? No, we don't have 2 in the deck. I'm trying to see, like, what spells we even still have. Because making our boss stealth, or making us stealth against the boss, is, like, insanely important. So, no matter what, I don't think you want to use it right away. I think you would just hold it for now. But we want it to come back around in the future. So in terms of removal, again, forget the pyre damage. Nobody cares. I think we're gonna lose. I really hate to say it because it sounds defeatist, but I think there's a good chance we lose. Right now, you're getting 1 kill. We're gonna get close to doing 2. I hope I'm wrong. We're actually pretty close. Okay. But we don't have stealth, which is... In fact, we don't have any cards. Which is horrendous, because I really can't do anything at all here. Except protect you slightly. And, our champion is endless, so we can bring them back. So let's not screw with the capacity too much. I think we're gonna keep it like this. Not drawing stealth on this turn was horrible. Not drawing stealth on the next turn was also really bad. And as you can see, we are about to lose in what is a truly devastating twist of fate. Never mind, I won, because I'm the best player of all time. And it wasn't even close, is the thing. It wasn't like I was 1 attack away, because he had multi-strike 3. That's gonna be a 2 streak of the Infernal Cup, baby! By the skin of my teeth. We've done it again. I don't believe it. We're chunking through these. A second dead weight in the deck. A lot of golden cards I ain't ever seen before. And look at that. Slightly more armor than I've ever applied before. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this recent run of form we've been on. If you have, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Hey, you watched the full hour. Click the like button. It helps me out a great deal. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!